So, what does a high speed billiard break have in common with a massive rocket blasting off into space? I know, it sounds a little random, right? But today, we're diving into the one single physics principle that connects them both: linear momentum.
Here's our game plan. We're going to start with what momentum even is. Then we'll crack open its simple but super powerful equation. We'll see why direction is a total game changer, and then look at momentum in the real world with collisions and explosions before we wrap it all up with the one big idea you've got to remember.
So let's really chew on that for a second. You've got the crazy, explosive crack of a billiard break, and then you have the slow, immense, building power of a rocket launch. One's a sharp, sudden impact, the other is this continuous push. And yet, believe it or not, they are run by the exact same rule of physics. Any ideas what that might be?
If you were thinking momentum, you nailed it. Both of those scenarios are just fantastic examples of how momentum gets moved around and, as we're about to see, how it's conserved. So let's get right to it. What is this quantity of motion all about? At its heart, the easiest way to think about momentum is just quantity of motion. It's basically a way to measure how much oomph a moving object has packed inside it. A giant freight train, even if it's just creeping along, has a ton of it. A tiny little snail, yeah, not so much. It's really that simple. Okay, so now let's get a little more scientific with that whole oomph idea. The official physics definition is this: linear momentum is the product of an object's mass and its velocity. Simple as that. It's the official number-crunching way to measure its motion. And that definition, the product of mass and velocity, well, it leads us straight into one of the most beautiful and useful equations in all of physics. And there it is, P equals m times v. It looks so simple, right? But I promise you, inside those three little letters is the secret to understanding how pretty much any two things interact in the universe, from tiny atoms to entire galaxies. So let's break this down real quick. P is just our symbol for momentum. M is for mass, and really you can just think of mass as how much stuff an object is made of. And V is for velocity. Now, this next part is so important. Velocity is not just speed, it's speed plus a specific direction. Okay, let's put that equation to the test. What do you think has more momentum? A huge 10,000 kilogram truck just crawling along at 1 meter per second, or a teeny tiny zero point 0.01 kilogram bullet screaming through the air at 1,000 meters per second? Well, let's do the math. For the truck, you have 10,000 times 1, which gives you a momentum of 10,000. For the bullet, it's 0.01 times 1,000, which is just 10. The slow, heavy truck has 1,000 times more momentum. See, it's that combo of mass and velocity that matters. And that little thought experiment brings us right back to the V in our equation. We just said velocity includes direction, and believe me, when we're talking about momentum, that one little detail changes everything. This is the key. In physics, we call momentum a vector quantity. Now, don't let the word scare you. All it means is that it has two pieces of information: a size, like how much momentum, and a direction. And that direction is always the same as the object's velocity. So let's try another one. Imagine two identical cars. Same mass, same everything. They're even traveling at the exact same speed. But one is driving north and the other is driving south. Do they have the same momentum? The answer is absolutely not. Because their directions are opposite, we actually treat their momentums as opposites too. We might say one is positive and the other is negative. And this whole idea is the secret to understanding what happens when things smash into each other. And that's exactly where momentum stops being just a cool idea and becomes an incredibly powerful tool. Physicists use it all the time to predict what's going to happen when things interact. And specifically, momentum is like the master key for figuring out the two most exciting kinds of interactions you can think of: collisions, where things crash together, and explosions, where they fly apart. So let's take a look at how this actually works. I mean, the actual split second of a car crash or an explosion is unbelievably messy and complicated. So physicists came up with some really smart ways to model these things and make them predictable. First up, collisions. In physics, a collision isn't just a fender bender. It's any interaction where the forces between the objects are absolutely huge, way bigger than any other forces hanging around, like friction or air resistance. Think about two billiard balls hitting. For that tiny instant they're in contact, the force between them is massive, which means we can pretty much ignore the tiny bit of friction from the table. And because those internal forces are so much bigger, physicists get to use this amazing shortcut. They can completely ignore all the messy, complicated stuff that happens during the crash itself. All they have to do is look at the total momentum of everything right before it happens, and then compare that to the total momentum of everything right after.
So what about an explosion? Well, you can kind of think of an explosion as a collision that's playing out in reverse. It's an interaction where these super powerful forces from inside a system push all its pieces violently away from each other.
Let's go back to our rocket. At the beginning, the rocket and all its fuel are just one big system, sitting totally still on the launch pad. Then, boom, a powerful chemical reaction inside creates these insane forces, shoving hot gas downwards, which in turn shoves the rocket upwards. So we analyze the momentum before the launch, which is 0, and then we analyze the momentum of all the pieces flying apart after. All right, we have covered a lot of ground. So what's the bottom line here? If you walk away from this remembering just a couple of things about linear momentum, what should they be? Let's boil it all down. Really, it just comes down to these 3 things. First, the equation. Momentum is simply mass times velocity. P equals mv. Second, the direction. Remember that momentum is a vector, so which way something's going is just as important as how fast it's moving. And third, the application. It's the #1 tool physicists used to figure out the secrets of collisions and explosions.
And that leaves us with one last, kind of mind-bending question. If momentum really is the quantity of motion, and a rocket on a launch pad has 0 motion, and therefore 0 momentum, how in the world does it suddenly get a huge amount of upward momentum? Where does all of that new motion come from? Well, the answer to that question lies in one of the most powerful and fundamental rules in all of science. But that's a story for another explainer. Thanks for tuning in.